Hey, I gotta keep it funky, man. For all of the young cats out there, the young brothers out there, man, you gotta do whatever it takes to avoid being in a situation where you are regarded as someone's young boy. What I'm hearing right now, the character, the individual that I'm hearing repeatedly referred to as my young boy. If you follow after that statement, you're basically akin to an NFL running back, like a late round pick who ends up having a hell of a rookie season. They run the hell out of you for a few years, and then when it's time to re up and actually cash you out, then they don't want to pay you. And I just feel like right now, man, these individuals that on the team that are the young boy is basically exploitative labor practices, man. And you got to figure out a way to do something. You got to do something better than that, man. Streets don't love nobody. All right, peace world. Thanks for pressing play on another Pay Me No Mind sports and entertainment video. My name is Wood. Please hit that subscribe button. Get all the regular stuff out of the way. Any engagement and interaction would be appreciated 3,000%. That's sharing the video, leaving a comment, hitting that like button. You know, if you dig the way that any subjects, topics, you know, breaking news, current events are being broken down, reviewed, recapped, etc., etc., etc. Thanks for rocking with me. Appreciate that a lot. Look, let's get into this, man. This new Westside Gunn joint. Flygod is an awesome god too. Um, Quick caveat: I had to listen to this 2 or 3 times, and I'll be honest, man. After the second time, because I listen to a lot of music as I go out and walk, little fitness stuff I've been working on. So I listen to a lot of music when I'm walking or when I'm riding my bike. I got like 2 listens into this, and I really didn't. I really wasn't compelled to do a review. And I was wrestling with that. Like, do I really want to do a review on this or not? Not because it was trash or it was terrible, but I didn't get much of a payoff as a listener, as a hip hop fan. The first time or two through in its entirety, I didn't really get much of a payoff. So I listened to it another 2 times, maybe even 2.5 times, and then listened to specific tracks. And and another thing is, I didn't want to. I don't ever want to seem like I'm running away from being critical of bigger name projects or big projects. So, anyway, after the third or fourth listen, I started finding something for me to tap into with this project. So let's get into it, man. It's 14 tracks, maybe 3 interludes or skits. So maybe it comes into like 10 solid tracks. I'll get to them in just a minute. Kind of touch on a few of them. Overall, if I had to give this one a grade of some kind, it might be out of 5 stars. Uh, 3.5 easy, maybe 3.75. But like I said, I had to listen to it a little bit. I'm trying to see where I wanted to start out on this, and then like again, Westside Gunn, in my opinion, like I said, not gonna. I think it's no secret. Not gonna really blow you out of your seat with his lyrics. But he's a hell of an arranger, a hell of a composer, conductor. Good ear, crafting the overall project, knows what he's trying to deliver and how he's trying to service his audience. Knocks all of that stuff out of the park. Features, producers, sound, phenomenal and all of that. So it's like, for starters, he's going to deliver in all of those areas in giving you in delivering his vision. It's just is that vision any different from anything that's already been done? And I'll give you another thing, man, because I really haven't been back to Pray for Paris multiple times. I really haven't. So I forgot what I was getting ready to say. But what really kind of has maybe messed me up with Westside Gunn a little bit, it's kind of thrown me off a little bit. Early on in this pandemic situation, this shelter from home, I listened to a lot. I listened to the Hitler Wears Hermes series like back to back to back to back, like all 7 joints in a row. And I think I thought that was phenomenal. Like it changed my whole view of Westside Gunn completely after listening to that. And I think because he was in the pocket so much throughout that, and in the way that I binge listen to it, binge watch, binge listen, I haven't gotten back there yet from a project from him. But maybe I'm not listening to him in like where he is now. I mean, Hitler Wears Hermes goes back to like 2012 or something. So it might be, and that's why it might be me. And that's why I'm trying to not skip over something. So let's get into it, man. The intro praise guy, A.A. Rashad is kind of like Rashid is kind of like Papa Wu from the Wu-Tang Clan. He gets to talking about this renaissance, and one of my favorite beats on the album actually is in this intro, which was produced by Derringer. One thing that I really don't like, I'll be honest, man, I really don't care for. I really don't like when artists mix their spirituality and their belief system or their faith or however they go about their thing. I really don't like when they get to mixing God and then follow it up with everything, all the recurring themes in this album, which is killing, shooting, dope, all the strong, rough street themes. I'm not a big fan of that, man, because at 45 in a week and a half, or next Friday, I can, you won't influence or impact me in any way. But somebody that's 13 to 17, 13 to 18, they're a little bit more malleable right now, and could feel comfortable continuing to head in a certain direction in their life that might put them in this young boy role that I'm talking about, that I'm kind of, like I said, it's kind of like the throwaway person, the throwaway individual in the black community, the young boy. That's tough for somebody. Like if you're gonna be a young boy or part of a younger team member, you should really strive to be the dude that like the crew sends to school. Like, dude is pretty bright. We want to keep him away from the streets because we might need him for a business venture down the road. Maybe send him off to school, some business school or something. Let's protect him and put him. Maybe you want to be that dude. But this dude right here, that's doing all the dirty work and exposed to all the risks, death, lifelong sentences, and all that type stuff. I don't know if I'm really feeling this character. But let's get into the music, man. I preached enough. Michael Irvin is the first, is track number 2, but it's when the verses, the rapping starts happening. I really like this change up midway through Westside Gunn's verse. The way that the beat changes up. This one is produced by a cat named Conductor Williams. I like his drop. His signature on his beats. It's simple, but it works for me. I think this song is actually kind of Westside Gunn's, probably his best performance, lyrical performance or vocal performance, however you want to look at it. I think it might come in this track right here, to be honest. One of the more standout cuts on the album, obviously Michael Irvin, Cowboy great, Hall of Fame wide receiver, 3-time champion, I believe, or 2-time. might whatever. 2 or 3. Anyway, that's one of the better joints on here, and kind of gets the album cooking. First listening to this, I did think I was on the cusp of really getting into a dope album. Track number 2, Jose Canseco, featuring the first appearance of Stove God Cooks on this particular album. Huge fan of Reasonable Drought with Rock Marciano and Stove God Cooks. I'm gonna be honest, keep it a buck with you on here. In my opinion, man, Stove God Cooks is not a major plus to this project for me. He doesn't do a horrible job. He doesn't drag the album down. But I think his unique type of flow and cadence paired with another dude with a weird type of flow and cadence, kind of like no flow discipline, no real structure to his songs, willing to break the rules at all times. Two dudes that do that, I don't know if they really pair together good for me. And it might be a matter of the law of diminishing returns with Stove God Cooks, because he's on 2 more tracks. So Jose Canseco, another sports reference. This one is produced by Street Runner and Tariq Azus. Let me tell you something. Another little detail, a little pet peeve of mine. If you're gonna sample singing and choruses into the sample, if that's gonna be the background, the backbone of the sample, it gets a little tricky when you got guys like this who leave a lot of dead space in between their lines. And I'm hearing the singing in the sample more than the dude that's rapping. It makes a weird listen for me. It just does. That song is okay. I gave that one a 3. I gave the production on that one 3 stars out of 5. Decent song. Next joint, track 4, One More Hit, featuring, once again, Stove God Cooks. This one is produced by Denny LaFleur. Again, some singing in the sample. Again, man, with both Westside Gunn and Cooks, and they do it differently, but they get into these points of the song, their line where they extend something, or they have a big pause, or they chant something for a couple times, then they get back into the verse. When it's not a tightly performed verse, it just kind of it's different for me. It's not a tight song for me. It's like I'm listening to 2 different songs, or it sounds like unintentional. Whereas if you do it right and you rapping over some singing in the back, something like Otis, when they leave Otis Redding in there, it's done intentionally and it all works together. But when it's not done right, I'm like, this sounds incomplete or something. That's just how I feel. So One More Hit. Not a bad track by Denny LaFleur, though. No knock against him. You come to the first interlude, Sadu interlude, track 5. Track 6, Little C's, produced by J.R. Swifts. I actually thought this might have been a Derringer beat, I think. We get the introduction to Armani Caesar. I didn't respect Sis's feature at first. I kind of didn't. Second and third time listening through it a little bit more. The song, like I said, is called Little C's, Junior Mafia, Big, Puffy. She puts a lot of bad boy references in her verse. And at first I was kind of, I'm not going to lie, I was a little off put by what she was spitting about. But then I went back and listened to it a couple times, and I respect her punches. I respect her. I respect more of her from an entertainment standpoint than kind of her subject matter. Track 7, F the Police, speaks for itself. Track 8, Buffs vs. Wires, featuring Benny the Butcher and Boldy James. For me personally, I might need to hear Boldy James in his own sandbox, in his own environment, and I might be more of a fan of him. He's not a horrible rapper. He's not trash, but he's another guy with a very unique voice. Not just the tone of his voice, but his cadence, the way that his flow, it's real different. He's the Detroit cat. Hence Buffs, which is a type of eyewear that's popular up in the D. My cousin got some on his Instagram page right now. I never seen him with no Buffs before. We talking about a pair he's trying to sell or something. And then Wires, that's more something eyewear fashion in New York. So this is not a bad one. This is actually a Derringer produced joint. I gave this one like 4 stars on the track. And then there's Benny, man. And that's when you throw Benny in, such a technically dope performer and rapper with dudes who have these unique flows and break rules and do what they want to do. But Benny has this thing in here about something he wanted to paper so bad. I ran around the world like the Amazing Race. Comes back the money counter singing to me like Amazing Grace. And I can't think of that next line on there that he says. Then I thought I wrote it down. But that's one of the more stand out, like straightforward, punch you in the face, get that nasty face look. That's one of the rare moments that I get on here, really, to be honest. So Bodie James does his thing. I'll be honest, I might not even understand like what Bodie James's lingo. I might not be hip to his lingo just yet. I got him on my playlist though for one of his projects that I want to listen. One of his own projects. The Mano skit says this is another dope part of Westside Gunn. He grabs these snippets of audio and lets whoever is the snippet of which is Mano, and says something truly profound, man. This whole thing right here, is basically talking about individuality. That's something I've been talking about on my platform. But he said, man, 10 insecure dudes get together to be one person. Like, you don't even know how cool you are. You aren't comfortable with how cool you are, or what you really are, and you need a team with you to make it work. And he's like, I stand on my own corner and work my corner by myself, which I don't know how safe that is, but that's what Mano say. Mano probably really willing to do different things to live that out, to walk out what he's talking about than what I am. I just got to be honest with you right there. Track number 10, Bubba Chuck. I believe that's Allen Iverson's nickname. Again, Stove God Cooks. At this point, I'm really less of a fan. My enthusiasm towards hearing Wes paired up with Stove God Cooks is kind of trending downwards. It just is, man. Like I said, these are two different dudes, man. Produced by DJ Shay. A lot of NBA mentions on here, some creativity from Westside Gunn in his lyrics, but we get to track 11, which is another interlude by Sadu, produced by Sadu. You ready to get on off here, man. This track number 12 is Drive By Love. Might be my dark horse favorite joint on the record. It's good to do something different. I gave this track 4 stars. It's produced by Chuck English. Chuck English's contribution to this project might have stole the show for me. Drive By Love featuring Keisha Plum. I really love, and then again with no song structure, like the first half of the record. I don't even know if Wes is really spitting or just ad-libbing or what. But then they do a really dope breakdown to really separate. Chuck English does a really dope breakdown to separate from the verse part to Keisha Plum's spoken word. She knocks it out with her thing, and it's a song to his lady, a romantic, whatever you want to call it, romantic song for the ladies that like gangsters or whatever. I don't know, but it's definitely got an R&B-ish type hip hop slow jam, what do they call it? Slow storm. That don't sound right. Love storm. I can't think of the phrase that I'm looking for. But Wes gets in his bag on the second verse. on his second verse. And then he says something about, you know, you look back at me while I'm in it and I spit in your face. And I'm like, oh, he's wilding out here. Entertaining though. Dope record. But then it's short. I want to say it might be a little over 2 minutes. But again, with him kind of wasting the first part of the song. And that's kind of where I am with this project. Like, it just feels a little incomplete to me, to be honest. Track 13 is The Rebirth, also featuring Keisha Plum. Maybe Westside, I was trying to make sense of my note. Maybe the second best vocal performance for Westside Gunn. This is also done by Conductor Williams. Keisha Plum kind of plays the DJ from the female from Warriors who keeps narrating the movie. She kind of plays this role when she's paired with Westside Gunn. Then the outro track number 14 features is Steve Baird featuring Rome Streets. Decent beat, decent debut for Rome Streets. It's okay. I'm gonna get out of here. Peace.